Welcome to the Omnibus Show, a program for people who are interested in everything, with deep conversations on a wide variety of subjects. And now your host, Dave Gibbs.
Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Omnibus Show, the program for people who are interested in everything, with deep conversations on a wide variety of subjects. Today's guest is Maria Murphy. She's the CEO of the Carmel Christkindlmarkt. Try to get that right. Our Christmas market here in Carmel. It's great to have you here today.
Thanks so much for having me. This is so fun.
Well, thank you. We'll just go right into it. Congratulations. You're number one again.
Yes.
Now that's 3 years.
3 years.
For 3 years.
We've been number one, and we've been nominated, so you can go and vote so that we can be number one again this year.
Okay, vote for the Carmel Market.
Yes.
Christkindlmarkt.
Christkindlmarkt.
Yes.
Exactly.
And so, well, tell us your story about how you got involved and you eventually became the CEO.
Yeah, so kind of have to go back. I grew up in Yorktown, Indiana, and I won a scholarship to go and live with a host family in Germany for a year.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, it was the Congress-Bundestag Stipendium. It means scholarship in German, and it was sponsored by Senator Lugar at the time.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so got to go and spent a day shadowing Senator Lugar in D.C. before I went to Germany. And then lived with a host family for a year. Mm-hmm. And my family here in the United States didn't celebrate holidays. Mm-hmm. So my first Christmas was with my host family in Germany. And so my host mom made me an advent calendar and an advent wreath and all these things that she gifted to me.
How very fun.
Yeah. So she gifted those to me. And when I came back, I kind of kept those as my new Christmas traditions that I set up for myself. So that was kind of the origin story, as you say, and
yes.
like the superhero, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Or the villain. I don't know. Which one am I?
No, I think the superhero.
Okay, I
Heroine.
hope so. Oh, man. So, yeah, then fast forward, eventually...
And, forgive me, what town was your family in?
Yeah, so I was in a little town called Steinbeck, and that is near... Hamburg. It's south of Hamburg and actually a nature preserve area called the Lüneburger Heide. And
Lüneburger Heide.
Lüneburger Heide.
I
yeah.
like that.
It has a
nice little lilt to it.
Yeah, they have. They're really famous for their honey in this area. Okay. They have a very special honey. So the Lüneburger Heide Honig. Try that one.
Lüneburger Heide honey.
Yeah, perfect.
Honey.
Perfect.
Yeah,
that's
there we
fun.
go. I try.
Yeah, no, that's so fun.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I lived there, and I'm still close to my host family. I went to Germany in July, and I visited with them.
Very nice.
And my host sister is always like, send me more peanut butter. They love peanut butter.
Peanut butter. peanut butter's on its way.
Yeah, peanut butter M&Ms.
M&Ms.
They
Even
love
better
those.
with a candy coating. Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah, it obviously made a huge impression on me. And
yes.
Came back, jumped into work, and eventually landed in banking. Was in banking for 10 years.
Okay.
Was with Lake City Bank most recently.
Sure.
Before the market, and was opening new branches for them, doing business development. When I went to a networking event where Mayor Brainard was speaking, and this was early 2017, and he said, this winter we're going to have a German Christmas market. It's going to happen.
Fun.
Yeah. He had like a rendering that he pulled up and put on this easel.
He's like that, isn't he?
Yes.
Like, we're going to have this year.
And it's happening,
like,
and here's
wow.
the picture. And
Scott, can you design that?
Yeah, exactly. And then we'll figure out the details.
Exactly.
So I was in that meeting, and I just got chills and started tearing up because of how much German Christmas meant to me.
Sure.
And went up to him afterwards and just said, hi, I'd love to be involved, and anything I can do to help, I just want to serve. And so I very quickly got recruited onto the committee.
Oh, there you go. Fabulous.
Yeah.
You're in.
And exactly.
That means you're going to be the president or the CEO, right?
I didn't know that, but
that's what happened.
That's what happened, yeah. So it was very shocking and unexpected, really, to have a call. And I was at my desk at the bank, and I got a call from the mayor saying, "Can you meet me in like an hour?" And in the back of my head, I thought, "Oh no, what did I do? Am I in trouble?" Like, just like, did I follow through on all my commitments on the committee? Like, just couldn't imagine why he would want to meet with me. And
the sheriff will be picking you up.
Exactly. That's how it felt. Very ominous. But I got there, and he just shared with me that he really wanted this to happen in 2017. And by this point, it was already like April.
Yes.
And for us to launch and open this in November without having anyone who's actually in leadership over the organization, he was, I think, getting a little concerned that the timeline was getting tight. And so he just said, "We'd like to hire you to run this. Why don't you quit your bank job and jump into a completely unknown pool that you've never done before and just trust me that it's all going to work out?"
Yeah, exactly.
And I said, let me sleep on that for a day or two.
That's wise.
So it did take me a little bit to make the decision, but eventually what I prayed about it and I thought about it and talked to a lot of my mentors, and I have amazing mentors in my life. And where I really landed was, this is an opportunity to build something that will last for generations.
Yes.
And how many chances in your life do you have an opportunity to actually build something that's going to outlast you and really like affect an entire community potentially for hundreds of years?
Sure.
Like that's
because it could, who knows how long
that
can go on, because these, what's in Germany, using Germany as an example, it's the, bear with me, after the plague, they did, was it a Christmas play? No, it was a Passion play.
Oberammergau.
Yeah, genau. Yeah, and that's been going, since the 1300s or
so? I actually
and it's still going.
Last year.
Yeah. So there's hundreds of years right there.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, the Oberammergau Passion play that they put on every 10 years.
Yes.
It was supposed to happen in 2020, and it got canceled because of the pandemic, and then it was canceled again in 2021.
Okay.
So last summer in 2022, when I was in Germany, I needed to go to Oberammergau's area anyway to connect with one of the woodworkers who's going to be coming to the market.
Oh, that'll be great.
And so when I was there, I went ahead and bought a ticket and went and saw the play. And I just wept because it's so beautifully done. And to feel the history in a place like that, like so many other places you can go to too, you just feel the weight of like, wow, how many generations have been doing this in this exact place and the lives that it's touched. And it's just incredible.
And was it gratitude for escaping the plague?
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that the plague went around them, or it didn't touch them.
It started to, and then...
Oh, it did, okay.
It did, yeah.
But I thought it went around, but anyway.
Well, no, you'll
know better.
So they started to, and then the whole town came together in the chapel and prayed together. And held like a prayer and fasting thing, and then it stopped. And no one else got it. Like, it just stopped spreading, whereas all the villages around them got decimated.
Yeah.
And so it really reversed in the middle. And so then they made a commitment that they would share the story of Easter as a town based on that salvation that they had, so to speak, from the plague.
Quite a story. And it's still here. It's still around all these hundreds of years later.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story.
It is.
And, well, hopefully you'll be around for, the event will be around for hundreds of years.
That's what I hope. I hope that we can establish something with the Carmel Christkindlmarkt that will be around for generations to come and enjoy.
Well, that's fabulous. Well, we'll talk more in Chapter 2. All right. Well, we'll be back after this break for Chapter 2 of the Omnibus Show. Hello, and welcome back to Chapter 2 of the Omnibus Show. Today we're with Maria Murphy, the CEO of the Carmel Christkindlmarkt. I'm trying to work on my German, but I call it the Christmas market, but the Christkindlmarkt. And so that would be the Christ Child Market.
That is
correct?
Mm-hmm.
In German. In Deutsche.
Auf Deutsch.
Auf Deutsch. And so back to the market, you've told us about your story, which is very fun and nervy about making a decision like that to go all in on that vision for the market. Can you tell us a little bit about not to take away the the magic of it, the charm, but about how you go about putting the market together. How did you piece it together? Because what's kind of fun is like you think of it, I think three-dimensionally. So when you're up here and you're looking down, it's kind of like looking at one of those little toy villages.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Lego set.
Now, how did you come up with that?
Well, it's really mirroring what has been done for hundreds of years at markets in Europe.
Sure.
And so I can't take credit for that at all. Putting our own Carmel special little touches to it. Really, when I started in 2017, Mayor Brainard was really involved. This was his passion project that year. And so he and Sharon Kibbe in his office went through and even before I was hired and had collected pictures of markets all over Europe. Everything from signage to the layout to what kinds of foods and everything like that. So I remember them handing me this binder with all these things that Sharon had printed out. And then, just doing my own research, my own experiences as well as being over there. So, we knew we wanted, in the first year, it was just on the west side of Carter Green, at the time Center Green, and just the ice rink, and then 2 rows of huts and 2 rows of huts, and that was it.
You're right.
So it hadn't come over all the way to the Monon that it is now, and now onto the east patio as well.
Yeah.
So it was a baby market at that time, although it felt astronomically large.
Yeah, it did, even in the beginning.
Even in the beginning, yeah. So, just the biggest challenge that first year was trying to fill I believe we had something like 25 to 30 huts.
Okay.
So it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when you have to fill those for 6 weeks of product for about 100,000 people or so that we had that first year, that's 15.
That's a good number of people to come out.
And you need to keep food and drinks and products the entire time.
The entire time. And ice skating shoes.
And ice skating shoes.
Or ice skates, rather.
Ice skates.
Yeah.
And so it's, in trying to, I had to basically just use my sales skills to try to recruit and find vendors who would be willing to come and take a risk on Carmel. And one of my favorite stories of a success was I reached out to a gentleman named Joe Burns who sells the raclette or the stinky cheese at the market.
Oh, the stinky cheese, yeah. It's a little raclette, a little.
Yeah.
It's great. That's the big. The big visual.
Yeah, people love it. People
the
go
melted
crazy
cheese
for it. The
sandwich,
melted cheese.
yeah.
So I remember I just was like trying to find him because I had seen that he was in markets all over the U.S.
Yes.
And so I finally got a hold of him after many attempts, and I convinced him to come to Carmel during the farmers market in the summer and to walk the farmers market with me. I was like, it'll be in the same space. You'll get a feel for the demographic. Like, we'll just come and explore. And he was like, okay. So he took a Saturday off and came and walked through with me. And he'll say, we talk about it now, and he's like, you just sold me. Like, I knew you had the right vision and the right heart. You had seen the markets in Europe. You knew what your vision was, and you had the support of the city, which was huge.
That is huge.
And so he's like, I just took the leap. So he came that first year and spent 6 weeks here in Carmel, and was highly successful, and he's now expanded. He's opened other booths at our market. He does the Verst House with the open flame.
Fun.
Yeah.
That is fun.
So anyway, that was challenging on the product side. It was really difficult to find people to fill the huts. So I ended up going to Germany and sourcing the products myself.
Oh, yeah.
And then shipping them here. And suddenly I had to learn how to do retail, which I'd never done before. And hiring the staff.
Did you do one of the booths?
Yeah. The market itself ran 19 booths in the first year.
Oh, really? Wow.
So I had to find products for
You
19.
find products and
Yeah.
make it happen. Mach show.
Oh, it was,
Make it happen.
Yeah, it was
Make show.
a big, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big challenge.
That is.
Now it's to the point where we have tons of people applying and wanting to get involved in the market, and it's not such a challenge to find those vendors and making sure that it's authentic and gives you that old world feel.
And then you start talking German after you have that Glühwein.
Yeah, the Glühwein, that's true. Yeah, and something fun is each year I go to Germany and I try to find new and fun things. So we do have our new snow globe this year.
Oh, that's cute. Because you
Isn't that
have
fun? That's the Glühwein pyramid that we have in the market. So
that's
it's
the Carmel one.
Custom made for us. And then we always have a boot mug with the Glühwein, which you just referenced, which is the spiced mulled wine. And then
It's a different color every year, right?
That's right, and this is the rose this year. And we have something called glue beer, and we're the only place in the United States that imports it from Belgium.
Wow.
And they call it Glühkirk in Belgium. But I went to Liefmann's brewery in July when I went to visit Europe this summer and got to meet with the owner, Olaf, and his mom was Rose, and she was one of the first female brew masters in Belgium, because after World War II, they needed more help from the women in the breweries to keep things afloat.
Yes.
And so she started helping out first, like in the offices with the accounting, and then learned different things, and then was self-taught, and eventually was the over manager of the brewery. And now her son is there running things, and he's about ready to retire. So it was just a really amazing experience to go to the brewery and get to, to interact with him before he retired and kind of have that touch point with this history. So
And this will be at the market.
yeah,
This is at the
glue
market.
beer. It's a cherry infused beer that you serve warm. That's mulled.
Warm, okay.
Mulled beer.
Oh, that's interesting.
I know, it's kind of trippy, but it's so good. Anyway, I always like to highlight because we're the only place in the U.S. who imports it. So
Wow.
that's really fun.
Wow. That'll keep you number one.
Yes, we try to do those fun, unique things like that.
That's very fun. I just think of all the different, I'm thinking of the word venue, but all the different little
Huts, yeah.
stalls, huts.
Yeah.
That's always a fun thing because everybody brings out their things and you can get food and the Christmas items and the pyramids. The pyramids with the
Yes,
candles.
exactly.
That makes the windmill. Is that right? The windmill
it's like
goes around
at the top. Exactly. So those are invented in a little area of Germany. There's a tiny town called Seifen, and it's actually kind of a spoiler, but it's going to be the sister city for Carmel for Germany.
Oh, wow.
And Mayor Brainard's actually going to be signing that here just in a little bit. So you'll be seeing a press release probably in the next week.
So are we going to have like a whole town of these all over?
I hope so.
We're
That
gonna
would be
have
my
our,
dream
like-
come true.
Yeah, there you go. You have restaurants with these big, with a
Yay.
candle that's about 5 feet across.
Ooh,
And
I'm loving it.
making them go around.
I'm loving it.
There you
Or
go.
roundabout. We could have a pyramid
We could have
in the middle of a restaurant.
Exact. That's a perfect idea.
I love it so much.
Then you'll have an annual Christmas market
exactly.
thing to go on with. So that'll be fun. And that's great.
Yes.
I mean, that further solidifies culturally, having a sister city. I'm doing that. Now, did they build your pyramid?
It was built in that region. It wasn't built in the tiny town of Seifen, but it was built in that region.
In that
Yep.
region. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It was.
And coming up with we're just about to go into the Christmas season, or in the holidays with Thanksgiving and Christmas and the New Year's. And the market will be coming up here soon.
Yeah.
Tell us about this year.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. The east patio of the Palladium, we had a few huts on there last year, but this year we're really expanding it. So we have something called the Spielhaus, which means playhouse, and that is where there will just be meet and greets with Santa, princesses, and the Christkind, which is one of the angel characters that walks through the market, story time, and sing-along time. So just kind kind of interaction with characters in that hut. Then we have a second hut called the Kinderecke, which means Kids Corner, and that will be crafting. And one of the fun ones that I'm excited about, we're going to have a piece of wood and actual nails and hammer, and the kids can hammer the nails in, and they'll be in the shape of a Christmas tree.
Oh, fun.
And then they'll take pieces of yarn and
they'll
go back and forth.
Weave
and,
them.
Yeah, make a little Christmas tree that way, and then
That'll
they
be
can
fun.
glue on some little pom-poms and things like that and glitter it up. So that's just one example. They'll be crafting throughout the entirety of the market. And then the third hut is the Werkstatt, which means workshop.
Werkstatt.
Yes, and so we have fully...
We're going to talk German by the end of the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so the Werkstatt.
You already know a Tannenbaum.
A little. Ich möchte einen Kaffee, bitte.
There we go.
Which means I want a cup of coffee. But the telephone in the workshop...
Yeah, so the Werkstatt, we have artisans coming over from Germany. I referenced Joachim, who's from Oberammergau, where the Passion Play is. He'll be coming, as well as we have a glassblower from a really renowned region called Lauscha, Germany. Mm-hmm. They're known for making some of the very first Christmas ornaments ever in history, and so have a very unique style of glassblowing in that area.
That's quite a history.
It really is.
Yeah. But they've done some of your lights, haven't they? The little star, red and yellow stars.
Yeah,
Did they do those?
Well, so in the nearby region called Herrenhut, they're the Herrenhuter Sterne, which is what I think you're referencing, which are those big stars on the top of the huts.
Right.
So yes, it's a very similar region.
But very similar to fine glass.
Yeah. There are a lot of artisans that. In that area. So it's very exciting.
That'll be very fun. So we're looking forward to having you number one again.
Thank you. Yeah, please come in. Please go out and vote for us on our website, as well as on our social media. You can find the link.
Can they vote on your page?
Yes.
Okay.
If you go to our Instagram, it's in the bio.
Connect to the USA Today.
Yep, USA Today to Invest.
Well, fabulous. Well, we will put all of that in the description section, and so that people can go and see and vote.
That would be lovely.
And we'll look forward to this year's market.
Thank you so much.
And Christkindlmarkt. And so, thank you so much for being with us today. And we look forward to, again, the upcoming market through the holiday season. And thank you for being with us. We've had Maria Murphy, who's the CEO of Carmel Christkindlmarkt, and that's our Christmas market. And tell us what are the dates?
Yep. So we open November 18th and we'll go all the way through December 24th. Closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, but we'll be open Wednesday, Thursday from 4 to 9, Friday and Saturday from noon to 9, and Sundays from noon until 8.
And you can look at that again in the description section on their website. We'd like to thank our sponsor today, Hotel Carmichael. We're shooting today at Feinstein's, and we look forward to being with you in our next episode of The Omnibus Show.
If you enjoyed this program, please like, share, and subscribe to continue the conversation. For the Omnibus Show newsletter, please sign up at theomnibusshow.com.